Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 284 on April 27th, 2022. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Matthew Ross.
Hello, everybody.
And Michael Aston. Michael has lost his voice once again.
I'm muted as always.
I was going to say, is it cedar season? Get the allergies kicking in.
Actually, woke up yesterday to a whole lot more pollen on my vehicle. I'm like, wonder what this one is. But oddly enough, that day my allergies weren't kicked in. Then the day after.
Just be glad that it was pollen and not ash.
Oh yeah.
Then you go, Mount St. Helens. Uh-oh.
Yeah, or Rainier. That would
Or
be worse.
Rainier, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the pollen here has been so bad that you could literally just make a continual circuit at the car wash. It's like drive out of the car wash, your car's covered in pollen, drive back in. Like you wouldn't have to drive anywhere. It's just like 2 seconds outside of the car wash, your car's covered in pollen.
This is why I don't wash my car.
It's really bad here.
That would be a bad thing if you live in bee country.
Oh.
You come out from work and your car is covered in bees. I mean, they're not angry. They're happy.
They're very happy.
Rolling around,
your
collecting that pollen.
I don't know that the bees like cedar pollen. The
Wow.
tree pollen like that.
I don't think they care.
It's,
Pollen is pollen.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about bees to make any real assessment. But
Fair enough.
Apparently
It is.
nobody does.
yeah,
Bees can't even fly.
there's lots of pollen.
They just fall very slowly.
It was Douglas Adams who said the secret to flying is for you to jump at the ground and miss.
Yes.
That's how you learn to fly. It's all you need to know, and then you can fly.
And it's completely off topic, but it's kind of on topic. And I don't want to save it for later.
Oh, fine.
I was at a restaurant with my daughter Sunday, and they had like one of those Pluto channels playing up on the TV with just like funny stuff. And I saw there was this girl gets out a stepladder. She finds like a baby bird, and she gets up on the stepladder, puts it back in the nest. Well, the bird immediately flops back out to the ground. So she goes down to pick up the bird again, and then it attacks her. And then you just see the video of her running around with this bird flying around attacking her. And I laughed so loud that everybody in the restaurant just like looked at me. It's like, you're missing out. It was surprising and hilarious.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it went for like a solid 2 minutes of her just running around through the yard with this bird attacking her.
That's hilarious.
All right. What are we attacking?
We are attacking Spotify openly and with fervor.
That's kind
Sort
of
of?
my forte.
Well, no, it's not exactly an attack. It's like competition, I guess. I don't know. Spotify is doing video podcasts, and they were kind of like in a closed beta or something like that before, and now it's an open beta. It's you are able to now start and make a video podcast.
So now people other than Joe Rogan can do a video podcast
and publish it directly using the Anchor app. If you've never used the Anchor app, it's kind of like a easy mode podcast / videocast program. It's designed to be super simple.
That that's the app that you use to configure your wireless speakers, right?
No,
ANKER.
no. No, that's the one for your power supplies, right? For your USB power supplies.
Oh yeah. Because my USB power supply needs an app. I forgot.
Exactly.
It's 2022. Everything needs an app.
Everything has one. What are you talking about? No, this is Anchor, spelled like a ship's anchor. I tried it a long time ago, which is basically it encourages you to make little micro podcasts or longer podcasts, and able to share within the app with its own kind of ecosystem. And if I remember correctly, Spotify did purchase Anchor and is using that as part of their platform to try to get more people to start making podcasts and video podcasts directly onto the Spotify app, and allows you to publish it into Spotify.
So they own Anchor until they decide that it's weighing them down and they got to cut it loose.
Anchor away, something like that. Yeah. This is them trying to get into more of the video podcast game, and I again don't know how I feel about Spotify, mostly because I don't use it, and I don't like the idea of being forced to use an app in order to watch something if I'm interested in it. So
this is basically just an invitation for the VOD squad to move over to Spotify.
Do we want to do that?
Well, I mean, maybe that's where the people are.
Yeah.
Is that
I
the
think
problem?
They weren't on. They're not on Twitch, and
Hey, Joe Rogan went to Spotify and became famous. It'll work for us.
oh yeah,
Is that how that worked? I can't
That's
remember.
Isn't it? That seems
yeah.
like
That's
how I
right. That's
remember
right.
it.
That's right. No,
Was it
I
nobody?
never heard of the dude until he got banned.
Yeah. No, I think the secret is that you have to become somebody who is, able to say the world's worst things about, famous people. So we should get on Spotify and make fun of Joe Rogan.
Oh,
But
I
we-
can
the-
say. I
make-
can say terrible things about famous people. I just typically hold back because most
trying to be
people don't
nice.
want to hear it,
Yeah, that's fair enough.
even if it's true, especially when it's true.
Well, that's the funny thing. I'm thinking in some weird way that actually would work better but that would probably get you the kind of audience you wouldn't be interested in. Or maybe it is the kind of audience you would be interested in. I don't know. Oh, well. But anyways, if you are interested in trying to start a video podcast and you don't want to do any of this OBS or XSplit stuff, or figuring out how to get Twitch's web app to work or something like that, you can try to get yourself onto the Spotify platform using their Anchor app today. It's available in US, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Very cool.
Okay.
But here's story of the week, obviously. BTS, the world famous group of way too many Koreans in a single band. So many I can't.
Too many. There's a limit.
Well, there is no limit apparently, because how many members of BTS are there? Is it in the 90s?
7.
Well, I mean, it's like,
No.
isn't it like Menudo, where they just, when they get too old, they cycle in new people?
I don't know. I thought it was more than 7. I sort of swear it was like.
I mean,
15.
because
I'm just counting the people in the picture that have jeans on in the article. So there's 7 people with jeans and 30 people with white shorts. I'm assuming it's the 7 people with jeans that.
Honestly, Tom Merritt would be the person to ask. He has extensive BTS knowledge.
I would say my BTS knowledge basically extends to they're a Korean boy band, and I don't particularly enjoy any of their music. That's it.
Not publicly, at least.
Just full dump of my knowledge.
He only enjoys it in the privacy of his own car.
Yep. Apparently you're right.
When it's in the
There are only
garage.
7 members.
And
Although I
nobody's home.
swear there was it was like a huge number of them, and they were just let them in and out as they wanted, kind of thing. I don't know. This is how much I know about BTS, and so you shouldn't count on me. But that being said, I know there are a lot of people who are really into BTS. That bulletproof boyfriend thing. That's what their actual name means, apparently, in Korean. They are popular dance group with popular music, that Korean pop. And if you really wanted to get your groove on and maybe do some exercise listening to your favorite BTS music, if you have an Apple Fitness Plus, the BTS Dance Lessons are coming to that platform, which will allow you to learn their dances and dance along to their songs while you sweat it out wearing your Apple device.
So Apple is doing their own version of Just Dance. That's
Except you don't get a
literally what
score,
Just
you
Dance
get the
is.
sweat.
Yeah, sort of.
And because
But-
Just Dance would have you do the proper dance for that song.
right.
Yeah.
And then they did do artist versions.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, this is actually pretty cool. I don't, like I said, I'm sure I've heard a lot of BTS stuff because I eat at places that play Korean music, like at the H Mart or Korean food
The
restaurants,
massage
and stuff like
parlor.
that. So, yeah, we don't talk about that. No. But so I'm sure I've heard a fair amount of their music. I just wouldn't have known when it was them. But I like dancing as a form of aerobic exercise. It's a little bit more interesting and enjoyable than going out and running, which is pure misery and torture, in my opinion. So, yeah.
And when I said it was,
I like
and just to be clear, when I said it's Just Dance, I wasn't saying this wasn't a good idea.
Well,
I was,
yeah,
that
Just
was,
Dance is a good idea.
no, yeah. But I mean, I wasn't poo-pooing Apple's decision to copy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if it wasn't the first, and if the more isn't coming of different
Mhm.
dance things like this. And BTS is just the new featured thing of the week. So who knows? We might be seeing a lot more of this kind of stuff, which is cool. And hey, maybe it'll come to other platforms. I bet you there is going to be a Just Dance BTS edition somewhere. It's happening, right?
Mm.
Next story, CNN Plus. Remember, we've been talking about that. That's it launched. And,
Yeah, it was like a massive launch, and it was super popular. They said that they had like all of the people, right?
I've got a prediction. Stop before we go any farther. I just wanted to predict this thing is probably going to be bigger than Disney Plus.
Whoa.
They've already got so many subscribers and content that they had to split into a new service.
Yeah.
There's CNN Plus and then CNN Plus Plus.
Yeah, that's my theory. Yeah,
Okay.
I think you're onto something there. So what were you saying, Matt?
They're canceling CNN Plus. So CNN Plus launched a month ago. I mean, like 30 days ago, and
It made it 3 weeks.
It will be turning off on April 30th, which is
So Quibi was a better platform than CNN Plus.
if you measure by how long they lasted, yes.
They are like a tenth of a Quibi. I mean,
all right. So here's what I understand the problem was. Everybody expected CNN Plus to be CNN Plus stuff, right? So people were actually, trying out the platform and logging in and trying.
And
to
they
then-
got ESPN Plus.
Well, no, not even that. It's the fact that they were expecting to be able to watch either their shows that they liked on CNN or watch the stream CNN directly from that platform. CNN Plus never had the rights in order to do that.
No.
They instead, those rights were stuck with the various streaming and cable companies. And so any of that live on CNN content was not available on this platform, which basically bummed everybody else out who wanted that and was expecting that out of CNN Plus.
Yeah. And that's
it was a huge branding mistake, essentially. They should have said this was something else.
That was the thing that I kept hearing about ESPN Plus. People saw ESPN Plus and they're like, oh, sweet, ESPN, blah, blah, blah. And they go there and they're like, where's all the stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just...
The Plus is very confusing.
Yes.
Because you expect something and more when you put a plus on it, right? Like Disney Plus, that makes sense. You got all of the classic Disney movies. And plus a bunch of additional stuff.
And Disney didn't
CNN
have a
Plus,
standard.
ESPN Plus.
Also, my complaint about it is this should have been CNN minus because they never have anything positive to say.
This is true. too.
Everything is negative. It's all designed to make you miserable and rely on them to know why you should be miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the really impressive thing is just how poorly it did.
Well-
10,000 daily users. I mean,
That's not
For-
horrible. For brand new
10,000
out-of-the-gap-
days. So, but on the
daily.
plus side,
Uh-huh.
they did make $60,000.
$6 a user per month. No, I'm thinking that's not that bad for a brand new service. I mean, if you're brand coming out of the gate and you're just like, here's a brand new service, and your first weeks you had 10,000 daily people watching.
how
That's a
many?
lot.
How many do you think Peacock?
In the less than 100,000
Hun-
first couple weeks.
I disagree. I suspect that Peacock.
Okay. So let's
A-
differentiate this slightly, if it's okay. Not the free account. I don't know, because the free account makes it
Yeah.
easy. If there was a CNN Plus that had a free version, Yeah,
ESPN Plus, I bet also. You know,
we don't know
I'm
the numbers.
speculating, pure
Yeah.
speculation. However, what I can say is it is impressively bad compared to the expectations that
Oh
they
yeah,
had.
I'm sure it underperformed their expectations.
And that's why within 3 weeks of releasing it, they had made the decision to close it.
So,
It says here 32 days
Right.
is
That'll be-
how long until it will actually close.
Yeah.
which is on
But
the
they
30th.
chose to cancel it within 3 weeks.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, even though it's going to continue going for the foreseeable future, there will never be an app released for Android TV or I think Fire. One of them. Yeah.
So those will never have to deal with the fact that service was
No.
on there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth noting that like CNN said that the Discovery CEO wants to combine the company's content into a single streaming service. So this stuff is probably going to end up on HBO Max when HBO Max and Discovery eventually
Oh yeah,
merge.
it's got to go somewhere, and that would be an easy place to put it.
Yeah.
Especially since they're combining everything, anyways.
Hey,
Speaking of HBO
you know,
Max,
that's where they put all the stuff that I don't watch. They just dump
So-
it there.
this last quarter, HBO Max was able to gain 3 million subscribers, and this is interesting because two things are happening right now of interest in the streaming stream right at the same time. One, HBO Max is already talking about changing. They've just got the Warner Brothers Discovery deal, so that's going to be changing things here, how things are done. So even though that's happening, and we don't know how this is going to be affecting them in the long run, they're still able to make a lot more subscribers, which is good. And two, this is exactly the same time where Netflix has announced a huge number, 200,000 users leaving their system. So while they're losing customers, HBO Max was gaining. So do we have a new king?
Well, also the thing I thought was interesting was they picked up the 3 million subscribers before they left AT&T.
Huh. Nice. No, they were still
So
doing
how many
okay.
people got on board because they were going away from AT&T?
Oh,
People like Jimmy that said, "Hey, we need to drive up the stock price so that I get a better split." And then they're going to cancel in a couple months once they've sold those shares. I'm pretty sure they all 3 million of these subscribers are part of a Reddit.
Well, I know if this is the case, then these people knew that they were going to be losing their subscription because they were getting it for free with AT&T,
Mhm.
and now they were going to lose it because it's going away. Oh, that's totally
Well,
makes
they're not going to lose it yet. I mean,
Oh.
I'm not paying for HBO Max. I'm still getting it for free.
Oh, okay.
It's, I mean, for at least another year.
Well,
I
maybe this
just
is
figured this was another GameStop thing.
No, I'm thinking this is like a confusion where grandma who has AT&T thinks they're going to lose so they're going to have to subscribe, and so they manually subscribe anyways. I don't know. So got to be a reason for it, right? This can't just be people who want to.
Yeah, and also again, this was before the split.
Oh yeah, I know, but they knew it was coming. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
they didn't talk about any of the AT&T free thing going away till after.
No, they
I don't
all
know.
had crystal balls. You don't
Oh.
understand. They are all psychically mind melding together.
If they all
No,
have crystal balls, I want to ask, how do they walk?
careful. No, all I gotta say is that this is good on them, and they did really well, and especially in right now what seems like might be a downturn time for many streaming services, starting with Netflix, and who knows what happens next. This is good for them. The numbers are looking good.
Yeah.
But also, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, HBO Max has been on a roll with great content. So I'm not surprised that a whole bunch of people have signed up.
Just because. It's good stuff.
Just because.
Yeah, it's a combination of things going in HBO's favor, right? Like they're producing good content. They've had kind of a push in that direction from their parent companies, moving content there and making partnerships and deals with outside companies and stuff. So they're doing everything right. I think that's really the takeaway, is that they're doing things right. I think Netflix is struggling because the content that they've been releasing lately, really aside from Witcher, has not just hasn't been hitting on all cylinders at all. I think Witcher's probably the only thing recently that I remember coming out on that channel that was really great. And even people like myself that tend to be Netflix users, I still haven't watched the most recent season of Lock and Key, which is something I like a lot. I'm a fan of that.
It was, I watched it and it was not great.
Yeah.
The first season was cool.
Yeah, I like the first season, which is why it surprises me that I still haven't gotten
that's
around
why
to
the second
watching.
season was such a disappointment to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I agree. I struggle to find anything on Netflix. I for the last few years, I've been struggling to justify why I pay for it, as we've talked about. And yeah, I don't know. But HBO Max, they're pumping out stuff.
Yeah, and I think that from a Netflix perspective, the other challenge that they're dealing with is the combination of competing systems, right? Like Disney Plus is releasing a lot of content that's actually generally pretty good.
Yeah.
And HBO Max is releasing a lot of good content. So people have other places to go. And especially in a time like this where people are looking at finances as we appear to be moving into a recession, canceling Netflix to save yourself $20 a month because you're watching things on Disney Plus or HBO Max makes sense. And I suspect that there's a lot of that going on where people are just saying, it just doesn't make sense for me now. I'll sign back up when the next season of Witcher
And then
comes
also,
out.
I mean, you factor in the fact that Netflix has been around since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They already had all of the subscribers, all of them. There was like nobody else to get. They had hit that plateau to the point where they were going to start creating. They had to come up with ways to create new customers by, cutting off. We've talked about cutting off the leeches and, different things. It's not surprising that people are just kind of walking away. Maybe not forever, but
So, yeah, and also
the price
again,
hikes.
It feels like to me all the other streaming companies have got something that Netflix just hasn't got that much of recently. Of these higher end movie style things I mean, a couple, but it feels like HBO Max has a ton of huge amount of the director and actor talent behind their shows now, and where it feels like what's coming out of Netflix feels a little bit more, second series kind of stuff, not necessarily the
It's the TBS. It's become the TBS of streaming originals.
Yeah,
which the TBS isn't bad. I actually I love a lot of the TBS stuff, right. But it's not like HBO. Yeah. It's not even NBC or Fox. It's TBS.
And the shows that they have that have done well in the past, they're not getting them out as reliably as they used to.
Yeah. So it's an interesting time of decline for Netflix. It's an interesting time of HBO doing very well. We'll see if this changes in the future. Everything goes with like a pendulum, it swings back and forth eventually. And Netflix will come out with that next big hit, and they'll start having people coming back to watch the things they're interested in. So it's all right. This is normal. Yay, normal stuff is happening. So we discussed briefly of the idea of Starlink on airplanes.
Yeah, which one was that? Who was that we talked about last week?
I don't remember what we talked
about. It was like was it Delta or American Airlines or one of them, and they were like, "Yeah, no, we don't want it."
Hawaiian Airlines is going, "Yeah, we want it." Just so you know, it's gonna be something we want to do. Looks like by the year 2023. They're going to have many of their flights on various of their systems. They're talking about the Airbus models and Boeing models that you'll have options to use an internet service on the system that's based off Starlink, which means it'll be a decent amount of bandwidth and it'll be relatively low latency, which means it's enough for you to do good streaming of various things in video games.
You're gonna get Twitch streamers from the airplanes.
I totally can expect the Twitch streamers for the airplanes. And here's the thing that they're talking about not charging for it on the plane, which means it's going to be completely flooded by everybody on there trying to download. They better.
I think I've told the story before, but the single worst flight I have ever been on was a Hawaiian flight. Oh. I was flying back to San Diego from Hawaii, and it was just miserable. And we'll talk about that later
after the show. We will have the discussion about Hawaiian Air.
But yeah, and plus that flight is so freaking long. So yeah, they need something just to keep people from trying to get off the plane mid-flight. Oh wait, no, that was that United that duct taped that lady.
Did she try to open the door mid-flight?
I think so.
Oh man, they had duct tape her?
This is like the third woman that I know of, or that I
You actually knew the woman?
No. I'm saying that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I know of, not that I know.
Yeah. PSA: don't open the door while 20,000 feet.
Oh, that's another thing. But we'll talk about back in 2000, there was a lady and there was a Phil Hendry thing. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk.
But anyways, I'm excited because in a future date, I probably will be going back to the Hawaiian Islands soon. I'm hoping. And it would be cool if I could get really awesome internet on the flight, but I'm not counting on it since they're talking about 2023. So probably not for this year, which is sad. That's okay. Oh, it was better. All right. So we have to talk about it. Sorry, guys. I know we don't really want to.
What?
But we have to talk about it.
We don't have to talk about anything.
Okay.
Unless, did a patron come up to you on the street and say, you need to talk about this?
No.
Okay, then we don't have to talk about it.
Okay, well then we won't talk about Elon Musk and the fact that he's buying Twitter.
I don't get why people are so bent out of shape. Big deal. He's just a dude that's buying a thing.
I disagree. I think it is a big deal.
I want to
but
hear everybody's take.
A libertarian bent individual that believes in small government and
free speech
deciding to own the most common way that people communicate with each other is okay.
I think
not with each other, that people shout out into the void that is the internet. This is definitely my first way I said that was definitely not characterized correctly. The most common way that people randomly shout out into the internet is, I think, a very good thing.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I think I do think it's a good, this is potentially a good thing too. He keeps getting banned or in trouble by Twitter for pointing out how unfair and biased they are. And I mean, because he's a free speech guy. I think that it could be good for the platform to have somebody that's just like, no, you can't censor.
I mean, his statement was the statement that he made via tweet that effectively this is the town hall of our day, and it is not having free speech in the town hall is a threat to democracy. It may be slightly overblown.
And I slightly disagree with that
much.
Just because, it's a private company, and private companies can have their own rules.
It's a public company, but he's going to make it.
It's a thing. It's a clubhouse. It's not Twitter is not afforded to you by the Constitution, by the government. It's not, they can have rules that say you're only allowed to say the things that we like you to say, because you don't have to use it. If you don't like it, you go elsewhere. That being said, I'm gonna pop some popcorn and sit back and watch the people
sparks fly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Screaming start.
I'm kind of I think that anything much more that I say can't avoid going political. So I will be very, very reserved in my further comment. But I think that there is a difference. Like I agree with what you said about Twitter being a private or a public company. It is not a government organization or anything like that. So they can make rules that they want. However, it is afforded government-based protections that it is not complying with, and that is the problem.
Okay. My hot take. I don't care about the politics because it doesn't matter to me. I do care that we have a current social media platforms are dominated basically by Facebook, and everything is owned by Facebook. And this is the first legitimate thing that could, especially if this could be, I'm not necessarily it's going to happen, but I foresee Elon Musk changing Twitter in a way that makes it more of a real social network versus a streaming platform. And if he does things to make it more of a social network versus a streaming platform, Facebook and its ilk will have a real competition, and I'm all for having multiple options. I was a big supporter of Google Plus, not because it was a better platform necessarily.
I liked
it wasn't
Google Plus.
Facebook.
But I liked Google Plus because it was kind of like all of your favorite forums in one place.
Me too. I liked it too. I really did. But Google decided, I think wisely, in looking at it in the rearview mirror, that wasn't for them. Even though I wish they would have kept on going, because anything was better than Facebook, and I'm not into Mastodon or anything like that. But
I fully agree with that statement. I was a Google Plus fan. I do like having competition in the space.
I want this to become a good platform that even I would like to get on and be able to have social commentary with other people about, and not have screaming matches on,
I
current
think
Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah, I think that that your statement is interesting, because the things that we know from Elon Musk is he's very business savvy, and he manages to make money out of his businesses. B, he has indicated that he intends this to be a largely free speech based space, and they're going to do things like open source their algorithms for moderation and stuff like that. That makes you think that the current model for Twitter might not be the best solution for him. It's not making money,
No.
hasn't, and making those kinds of changes actually probably make it less likely to make money. So there will probably be other changes, like you said, that will improve its sociability, or maybe tie-ins to something else. I don't know, but I'm sure he has ideas.
You first, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it kind of a little sort of on topic. Did either of you watch Elon's interview by the Babylon Bee? Matt, I sent you a link a while back. You guys should watch it. It is great. Because I literally, until I watched that like a few months ago, I only knew Elon Musk by name. I'd never heard him speak. I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't, because I never really cared. And then I watched that, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this.
Was that the one where he sat down across from the old dude and just chatted?
No. Oh, well, it's a bunch of dudes. It's the dudes. If you're familiar with the Babylon Bee.
I mean, I know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
Okay. One more thing on this. As far as I'm concerned, the guys on the Twitter boards or whoever else has power and on Twitter should take this opportunity to take all this money, because it's a lot of money. $44 billion is a lot of money. Accept it and then cut their losses, because Twitter has not made a lot of money. Now, could it be making a ton of money when Elon takes over? Yes, but that being said, they just made themselves a decent amount of money. This is a good opportunity for them, if they want to step aside and go, okay, we made the deal. I'm out of here.
Yeah. I mean, he's technically on the board now.
Yeah, he refused that. That's a whole different story.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that's okay. So YouTube is a streaming platform that we're using right now. Did you know there's a thing called a super thanks? I think we might have talked about this. I can't remember. A super thanks is a way you can provide a thank you to donation to your favorite show or stream that's on the YouTube platform. You can have a monetary value, anything from $2 to $50 to give to that streamer. And it will give you a nice either highlighted comment, or if in the live stream, you can actually have interactive things happen during the live stream with it. It's a tip jar coming to YouTube, very much like your Twitch streams and bits, I'm guessing.
Did they rename Super Chat?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Because they've had the Super Chat for a long time.
Oh.
I wonder if they just renamed it.
I've donated money to people with Super Chat, so I know that it exists.
I'm looking right now. We don't have that option. If you can't super thank us, don't super thank anyone. I'm just kidding. Go through super thank someone.
Okay. Well,
YouTube takes a 30% cut.
Oh, well, doesn't everybody? Except for unless your name is Facebook, then you take a 50% cut.
That's, I mean,
47.5%, whatever.
Taking such a huge cut of the tips just seems
just absurd. The tip,
but that's just
the tip.
That's just me.
Tip of the tip. So somebody's getting a transaction fee out of that tip, so they're getting the tip of the tip of the tip.
I mean, I could understand saying 10% because transaction fees and servicing and stuff, but Wow, 30% of additional tips made to users in addition to the money they're already making off of viewers.
Well,
is,
it's like Twitch
yeah.
takes 50%.
Does it?
Yeah, which is funny because when they give you everybody that's a Prime subscriber, you get $5 to give to your favorite streamer. Well, they're actually only giving you $2.50 because they take back half of that $5. It's so I'd say 30 is better. I just remind everyone that 10% is good enough for God. Should be good enough for YouTube or Uncle Sam.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Twitch taking 50% is even more insane.
Even more than Facebook. A little bit more than the tip.
Yeah.
All right. So, did you know that Charter and Comcast are in cahoots? That's right. They have decided they're going to work together to work on a new streaming platform. You know, not like we have enough of those these days. We have the Fire TV and the Android TV / Chromecast TV.
I mean,
and we have the
we
Roku
could use
TV.
another one.
Did I say Fire TV already? I don't know. The Apple TVs, all these different platforms that you have out there. They are taking their existing platform, which is that they put on their various boxes, which is the Flex and the Zumo boxes, which apparently is their own proprietary platform, and they're going to work together in order to make a new system.
Yeah, okay.
Interestingly, that the story pits this directly against. Oh, I see. It's from 9 to 5.
It's 9 to 5 Max. So
this story pits it directly against Apple TV, which is an interesting choice.
Well, actually, I would say that's actually a good choice because Apple TV isn't as big. Apple TV Plus, both the streaming service and the hardware are not as popular as the other platforms. They are behind. So if Charter and Comcast are coming in with a new offering, they would be probably direct battling with Apple. Plus, I mean, Fire TV is one of the few that has originals content and hardware. I guess Roku technically does with the Roku channel. Google doesn't. Yeah, I guess. No, Google isn't making original content. No, they don't own channels, so they're just strictly hardware at this point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would think that's right.
All I'm saying is, well, we have another platform to watch over. We're gonna see more of this coming in the future. This combined platform from the cable companies to try to be a streaming service for you, or a streaming platform.
So I would say two things. First of all, which one of us is going to buy this? Because we have almost all of the platforms covered by somebody.
I think we have all of them.
Yeah. So this would be a new one. That said, never mind, because I think there's a snowball's chance and heck, this is going to get anywhere. This will probably do better than CNN Plus. I'll give it that.
See, that's what CNN Plus was missing, was the hardware aspect.
Yeah.
You have to buy a dongle.
They should try again with hardware. I think that CNN
that's what the Plus was. It was CNN Plus, a hardware device.
Yeah.
And they just never released that. So
yeah. I think this will do somewhere. I mean, this isn't the same thing, but I think this will be as successful as something in between CNN Plus and Quibi. Meaning it will be a complete failure.
Maybe Charter and Comcast can show Apple TV Plus how they could make money by making good content that people want. Well, I guess they did finally make Severance, and Lasso's been somewhat popular, but
yeah,
that's 2 shows. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to read this next story verbatim.
Okay.
Researchers create VR headset that sends sensations to the mouth, lips, and tongue.
This could get very weird very quickly.
The-
the subtitle.
Yes. This-
Read the intro into the article.
Yeah, read the next line, which is great.
For those desiring better mouthfeel when playing Resident Evil 4 on the MetaQuest 2, researchers may have found a solution. I kept it together that time.
As you read this, if you keep on reading this, you find out what they're using is they're using like an ultrasound and like a emitter and air pressure emitters in order to do this thing, with the idea of being able to essentially push things at your face and mouth in order for you to have a more haptic feel. They're calling it a mouth haptics.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's what it is, right?
So like when someone kicks you in the teeth, you need to feel it.
So a blast of sonic and or air pressure will hit you in the face to make you feel like you got kicked in the teeth. The system the demo that they explain is that there's a video game in the game where spiders jump on your face and it makes it feels like there's
Oh no, no,
and then if you
no,
just-
no, no,
then
no,
if
no,
you
no,
kill
no,
the
no.
spider,
No,
it feels
no,
like
no,
the
no, no,
guts
no.
get into your mouth.
No, 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 no. I don't mind spiders. We have a deal. They're allowed to live in my house, and I will not bother them. But if they bother me while I'm sleeping, they will die.
So, who wants to have this game to play with your VR headset?
That sounds like one of the worst things I've ever heard somebody make a game of. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine the idiot that thought that was a good thing to do.
Oh, come on, haven't you played Half-Life or Half-Life 2 with the face hugger?
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want to feel it.
I was gonna say I don't have a problem with the idea of your character getting spiders on the face. That's a good freak out moment.
I don't want to
game.
feel it.
I don't think anybody wants to experience that. And then the feel of them squishing their guts onto your face.
Well,
Oh
and
my
the thing
gosh,
is, this potentially has the ability to give you a sense of feel inside your mouth. So yes, that is the worst thing would be the spiders in your mouth.
They have entered an orifice at that point.
Oh,
No matter which orifice.
oh no. This is ridiculous, and I absolutely love it. My only request is that the final version of this keep the rainbow ribbon cables.
I mean, the other thing, the obvious other thing is, come on, you got to find a way to add taste to it.
No, they'll spray weird stuff in your mouth. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
if you're already going so insane,
no.
then you might as well add taste-o-vision, and now we actually have something interesting. No, I think so. I'm probably, of the people on this podcast, the person that is most excited about VR and experiencing it. That's why I'm the one that owns a VR headset. That said, and I'm super into the idea of the metaverse. You know, I am Ready Player One all the way. Let's just get there. So that
You want your
I
Tesla
can
suit.
check in, and yeah, I want my Tesla suit. I want to check in full body haptics and everything tomorrow. But the one thing I will never, ever, ever do is something that simulates spiders on my face.
What
Thank
about the feel of drinking water from a water fountain, or smoking a cigarette, or brushing your teeth?
I do all of those. Well, I don't do all of those.
I was going to say, when did you start smoking?
I started smoking today just so I could say that.
Feel
do
the
those
rush
things.
of wind when riding a motorcycle.
That would be okay.
But you can already do.
But I do all of the things that I want to do in life really already from a facial feeling perspective.
This is exactly the same thing I felt a long time ago when it was I forget. There was a Wii game that really wanted you to do something. It's like, I don't play games to do this thing. I play games to use
I mean,
a controller.
Jimmy's not here, so I'll say it. How long until they can figure out how to simulate kissing with this thing?
Because that's exactly what.
Because that's exactly what Jimmy would ask.
What if you could feel someone sitting on your face?
Okay.
Now we've gone too
Like
far.
the bully simulator.
My brain went straight to the Monty Python song. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. All right. Here's a story for you guys. Make you feel really good. YouTube TV is giving the ability to switch counts easily inside the YouTube TV interface. That means you will be able to quickly just switch between who's watching the show. Maybe you have something that you want on being recorded for you on your show versus somebody else's having recorded for them and having that kind of thing.
I get why this is a good thing.
Okay.
And why because YouTube TV is meant to be used within the same household, which means multiple people in that house have different profiles with different watch patterns. You want to be able to switch and previously you had to physically log out and then log in the next person. It was difficult. The problem is most people don't use it this way.
True.
And so, just like Netflix or Hulu or any of the others that, you've got your family members spread around, and when you launch it, you have to choose your name.
Almost every single one of my apps has that pop up.
And that's fine. But I think that YouTube TV
I mean, even YouTube does it.
Mhm.
And I mean, Hulu Live TV, Hulu TV does it.
Yeah.
Disney Plus, everything does it.
HBO Max.
And like I said, most importantly is the fact that YouTube itself offers this functionality. It's kind of insane that it's taken this long to get here,
But
especially for such an expensive solution. I mean, they charge.
no, absolutely.
lot.
Like I said, I get why it's a good thing,
Mhm.
but for a lot of people, me included, this is going to be a huge pain.
Good
because-
news for you. Further down in the article, if you're using the service for yourself and you're used to it that way, and it works right for now, you may want to turn it off. You can go into the settings.
If you
and
can turn it
this
off, that's cool. Yeah, because for those of us that are maybe permanently traveling, and no one else from the household is ever going to log in on my TV, I don't want to have to do that because that's just an extra step. Also, it opens up the potential for someone to log in, click on the wrong thing, and then completely screw up the algorithm, because YouTube TV is constantly playing stuff.
Right.
And it took a while to get that thing to actually recommend stuff I like.
Right.
All it would take is one day of somebody channel surfing to completely ruin it.
Yeah, that's an interesting. There should be a way to delete your recent history. That'd be cool.
It took us 10 years to get that on Netflix. I mean, we finally got it.
10 more. Yeah.
So
That is that one's not currently available everywhere. It's not ubiquitous, right?
no,
So
it should
I
be,
make
but
sense.
it's not.
it makes sense that it's not there yet. This has been ubiquitous everywhere, including in their sister apps,
Yeah.
for quite a while. So it's pretty.
Yeah, and like I said, the downside is purely for selfish reasons.
Yeah, and I think that it is impressive actually that they gave it out of the gate a settings feature.
That's good.
good
And
move.
then I give them props for that.
This will be,
Wabbit,
hitting
please
your
turn it
account,
off
all
for the
accounts
family.
gradually. So you'll be getting it in the next few weeks, one way or another. It'll just be gradually coming out to the accounts start showing up. So, and that is the news of the week, everyone.
All right. Well, the thing that also is a no-brainer. Supporting us via Patreon.
There are two funny ways to look at that.
Yeah, I was going to say that if you're supporting us, it's because have no brain. I don't know.
No. We're the ones with no brain.
We
We're
need
the
your
no-brainer.
support.
We're
Okay.
the no-brainer. We need your support because we have no brains.
It's a no-brainer that we need support.
Right.
Okay.
Or
Yes.
we have no brains. Either way you want to look at it.
We might have one brain between the three of us.
It's my week to have it,
Who's
guys.
got it this week? Jimmy's
has
got it. And he's
Damn it.
sleeping. No, if you're out there and you would like to support us, patreon.com/thebot squad. You get stuff, sort of. You have to ask for it. But if you ask for it, you'll probably get it.
Absolutely.
This is not a binding contract. What is a binding contract? Rants and raves. All right. Don't all jump at once.
Today, I did something and I had not done in 20 years.
You touched your toes?
No. Look. It's easy. There's my toes. They're right there.
I don't know. I mean, people just, not that you can't do it. It's just people don't do it.
Well, okay. Well, I try to, to
Put
wash them and
socks
things
on
like that.
happens. Yeah, wash them.
It's fine. No, today we had a doctor's appointment in Seattle, so we were out there and we decided to make a little bit of a fun trip over it. And my son had never been up on top of this big Space Needle.
Ooh.
So we said, let's do it. So all of us went up to the top of the Space Needle, and it has been 20 years. The restaurant is gone, everybody. But it's been remodeled.
Did it float away because it's in space?
Well, no. So interestingly enough, there's 2 floors on the Space Needle when you're up there. The top floor is the observation deck. It's just an open area. You can step outside. You can look on the outside deck, or you can be inside if it's rainy. But they actually put glass everywhere around that thing now. And so even if it was raining hard, you'd basically be covered, which is pretty cool. And then the second floor, you go down a level. That's where the restaurant used to be. And the restaurant spins. That whole thing spins very slowly. It takes about 40-50 minutes for it to spin all the way around while you're on it. But they basically removed most of the restaurant. There's still a lounge. They still serve drinks in the evening hours.
Does the room still spin?
The room still spins, and they now have a glass floor.
Oh.
Which is pretty awesome. So you can...
So, do you...
That is not awesome.
It is awesome.
Wait, they serve drinks in the room that spins?
Yes,
so you
they
get
do.
the spins while you're getting the spins?
It's countering the spin. It's spinning in the right direction. So when you
It
spin,
depends. What if you're
and the room is
Australian and
spinning?
your drunk spins the opposite way? Then you're
Exactly.
spinning the same as the kind of like
I
the
think they figured
teacups.
that out. That's how they figured it out.
Oh,
So
okay.
Just enough in the wrong way or the right way, and depending on your.
All
so
right.
you can drink more, and your head isn't spinning as much.
The idea of these glass floor buildings and lookout decks and stuff, they're made by horrible people that
I
are
like
just
them.
have problems with their heads.
But I'm also the kind of
obviously,
guy that likes to climb out on the precipices that hang out over the Grand Canyon and just like lean.
I'm the guy who likes to stand about 100 feet back from the edge and kind of peek a little bit and be like, oh, that was good enough.
Hey guys, what does it look like?
Yeah. Give
really
me a
cool.
good verbal
Okay.
picture.
This is really great. You
It's
should totally see
brown
it.
and
Yeah,
it's
I'm
deep.
the guy who would be like, Clyde, take a picture and bring it to me. Oh, that's really pretty. Thanks.
Well, maybe I'll share
As I
it
stay
in
at
the
the
after.
car.
Maybe I'll share some pictures in the
No.
after show of our trip because I grabbed some.
That's-
But
I've
And-
been up in the Space Needle one time, and it
It-
was pretty cool, but it was so expensive.
yes, it is not cheap. current price is $35 a person.
So do they have a roller coaster on the outside like the other Space Needle?
No, unfortunately.
They should.
Probably be nice to have that. No, the roller coaster is the elevator. It goes up and it goes back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. It was fun. It was actually a pretty sunny day it was a partly cloudy day. But in Seattle, that's like almost
That's all the days.
That's just
Sunny
Seattle.
day. And so it was nice, and it was good to my son, who is also a bit of a scaredy cat, to do those kind of scary things. When he first got to the room, where he's like, "Daniel, you want to go up there?" He's like, "I don't know." It's like, "Come on, you've never done it before. This is I think they're celebrating the 40th year of it, or something like that, or 60th year. I can't remember." So we got him to go up, and then he got to the room with the glass floor. And he was like, "I don't know about this." So I got out on the dance floor and I started dancing on it. And it's like, it's fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, last year when I took my daughter to Vegas, we went up on the Eiffel.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And that one's 3/4.
Oh, okay.
And I was talking to the lady and they were like, yeah, originally they planned on making it full scale, but they couldn't because it's right in the flight path. For the airport. So in order to get,
it's just under the flight path now.
Yeah. So so they had to make it like either half or 3/4 scale. I don't remember what it is, in order to get approval from the FAA.
That means it's like, if you're on top, there's planes flying right over your head.
Yeah, but
that
that's no different. Have you ever flown into San Diego?
No.
I highly recommend flying into San Diego because downtown built up alongside the flight path, so you come down through the buildings.
You're doing the trench run. Is what you're saying?
It is awesome, especially at night when you can see into the windows. And you see people like mopping and doing stuff. And the weirdest thing, though, scared the crap out of me the first time, is because it's right down through the buildings, which means there's a road that goes. So you're driving away from the airport and there's airplanes coming right at you. And you're like, oh. It is so awesome.
Okay. Other than that, I caught the end of the Ritual Misery podcast last night and talked to those guys a little bit after. Those guys are still cool guys, gotta say. That's it.
Cool. All right, Mike.
I haven't seen a lot of shows this last week or so. I did, really a few weeks. I did see. No, I saw all of those since I talked about those last time I was on. So I think the only thing I've seen is I rewatched The Amazing Spider-Mans with my daughter.
The Amazing ones with Andrew Garfield, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were actually not as bad as I had thought that they were. I mean, the second one was definitely not as good as the first, and the first was definitely not as good as either of the other first Spider-Mans. But they were all enjoyable to watch, and so I thought it was pretty good. My daughter has been on a Spider-Man kick ever since we watched No Way Home, because
reasons.
He was like, I want to see all the things related to this. So we've been watching those, and I've been enjoying it. I have not watched 2 and 3 of the original.
Really? You have to. So maybe, Spider-Man 2.
I mean, again, I haven't seen them again with my daughter. She didn't like Tobey Maguire as much as she did Andrew Garfield.
Spider-Man 2 was perhaps my favorite Spider-Man movie. I mean, it was. It just was.
I liked 1 better than 2. 2 was perfectly good, I think. 3 was atrocious.
I saw 2. I think it was 2. The day before I got on that flight home from Hawaii. And maybe that's why my flight was so bad, because I didn't like that. I hated that movie.
And you hated it.
Number one, I had no interest. I didn't even know it was out. my buddy that I was hanging out with was like, "Hey, we're going to a movie. Okay, what are we gonna go see? I don't know. There's that Spider-Man movie. Oh, okay. There's a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. It was. Anyways, I enjoyed them. There's some good old Spider-Man shows. I do think that even after rewatching them, clearly the Tom Holland shows are the best of the series. They're really good. I have watched a few other things that I do think I should mention. One of the, I don't know, Screen something YouTube channels, they do this
Screen
guy does.
Rant?
It's not Screen Rant. It's this guy does like
Screen Junkies.
The VOD Squad.
What does he call? Jeez.
Red Letter Media.
Masters of the Silver Screen.
Wow. I thought I was going to say something, and
The
then
Screensavers?
I just have nothing there to be able to say. Anyways, these things on YouTube are really good. You should definitely watch them.
If you can figure it out.
Screen Crush.
So let me ask.
Screen Slurp.
So President Garfield was Spider-Man?
President Garfield?
Yeah.
Like they got the really rotund guy who got stuck in the bathtub.
What
That guy?
was it? Him? I thought it was Polk. I don't know. I don't remember who.
Polk was not fat.
No,
It
not
is-
Polk. Oh, okay.
Okay, I got it. It is Screen Rant,
Oh, okay.
and it's their pitch meetings.
Oh,
And-
I never watched it.
Some of those are really hilarious. We started out watching the pitch meeting for Spider-Man, for the new Spider-Man, and it was very funny. And then we got into a rabbit hole. We started watching them on all the Harry Potters and all of the Star Wars, and it quickly devolved into just like watching all of them as much as we could. They were funny. But I have seen a lot of YouTube reviews about the Spider-Man movie, specifically the newest one, and how it corrects a bunch of the failures of the newest Spider-Man franchise, which I think are the most enjoyable to watch, but do have some serious shortcomings from a Spider-Man storyline perspective. And it's cool to see how this new movie kind of corrects all of those, which is cool.
All right.
I wish I knew which one that was, but
Wow. Hey, we got an explosion. Subsplosion.
that was cool.
All right. I guess it's kind of a rant. For years, I've been hearing people talk about there's this Nicolas Cage Superman movie that never happened and blah, 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 and this and that. Well, I found out the other day that there's actually a documentary about it.
Is this the YouTube one?
It's not on YouTube. It's the death of Superman Lives. What happened? And it's like a true, like, hardcore documentary. They sat down with all of the people. So Tim Burton and what's his face, Clerks dude, and the producer guy who was I can't think of his name. I always want to say Russell Peters, but is it Russell
John
Peters?
Peters.
John Peters. And all these people, and they talked about it. And I usually watch these documentaries about stuff that I'm not really into, and I usually enjoy them. I'm kind of pissed that I had to pay $3 to buy or to rent it. It's not streaming anywhere. You have to go to the official website, which is a Vimeo hub. So you have 3 days, whatever. The quality was fine, but it was kind of, I think I fell asleep like 3 times and I had to keep going back and rewatching. But now I've got all the info. I kind of wish, it had happened.
So are you saying that it wasn't worth $3, or are you saying you wish it wasn't behind a paywall
I wish it wasn't behind a paywall.
so you could have other people see it?
I would recommend people watch it, but I didn't, it wasn't I don't know what it is about it that didn't really click with me. I don't think it was a bad documentary, but it's hard to recommend anybody go watch it because you either have to buy it, and they have 3 different versions you can buy depending on how many extra contents do you want. Or, rent it. And it was just kind of, it also explains why I hadn't heard of this documentary, because it hasn't really been accessible.
Right.
So, dude, you put this out in 2015. It's been long enough. It's been out since 2015, and I just found out about it. And that's the problem with it being behind that paywall. Just license it to Amazon Prime, and then you're going to get way more money than you probably ever made from the stupid rentals. Just in, the million people that watch it on day one. Because, I mean, how many... Do either of you know the whole story?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Nobody does.
See, I had never heard of it. And then I Googled it when I saw it on the document. And I was like, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. I should watch that. And then I noticed that your rant, that it was going to be a rant. And I was like, oh, maybe I should watch it.
No, I mean, if you're interested in it, definitely. But my rant is aimed more at the guy who made the documentary. Dude, you made a documentary, put it someplace where people can watch it, and they will watch it. Mm-hmm. Licensing means you will get paid. And you will probably get paid more than you're going to get rentals for the next 10 years. So...
It's probably a faster track especially if he wants to keep making other documentaries and gets his name out better.
Exactly.
Like that, so.
And yeah. It was just so difficult to watch because number one, I had to do a Google search because it wasn't streaming anywhere. So I had to do a Google search for that stupid long title, official website. And yes, the website, if you want to go to the website, it is The Death of Superman Lives What Happened.vhx.com. Who's going to type that whole thing? Seriously. But on the bright side, hey, there's a documentary that actually lays out everything that happened and why it ended up not happening. And
no, did it have anything to do with Nicolas Cage and his psychosis?
No. And I mean, I would actually, I think because it was Tim Burton was going to direct it,
right?
And
which means
Nicolas Cage. Which means it would have been a Superman movie I probably would have loved.
Yeah, it would have been really weird.
And actually go through because they discuss in detail their plans and, show the artwork that they had been working on, the like hundreds of drawings of different things and ideas. And that's pretty cool. And it's a movie I would have loved to see. The thing that sunk Superman Lives was Sphere was a bomb.
Oh, the movie Sphere?
Yeah, Sphere was a bomb. And a couple other movies that were just like, whatever, were bombs. So they just said, screw it. We're not, they hadn't spent the money yet. They were still in the budgeting phase. But yeah.
I actually like Sphere.
Oh no, I thought Sphere was okay. I refer to it as Event Horizon Underwater because they're kind of the same thing. But
That's fair.
I mean, but they come. That goes back to the thing I noticed a long time ago, which is every summer, your big blockbuster, you have 2 movies that come out with the same exact premise. The one that makes all the money isn't necessarily the good one. Speed and Blown Away. Blown Away with Tommy Lee Jones. Amazing movie. Also about a bomber. Way better movie. Nobody's heard of it because everybody went and saw Speed. Deep Impact versus Armageddon.
Yeah,
Deep
everybody's heard
Impact
both
was
of
a
those.
pretty decent movie.
Yeah.
Nope, Armageddon got all the money. So yeah, Sphere and Event Horizon, I think, came out at the same time. They're basically the same thing. And yeah, so I'll just stop ranting and we can end this show and head to the post show. If you are here, if you can hear the sound of my voice, I apologize.
Ow, my ear.
But it's okay. We're wrapping things up. But if you want, we're back every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central here on YouTube. We're going to head over to the post show where we can talk about other stuff, vote on some titles. Yes, there are a couple titles because I forgot to put titles in tonight. And also, if you don't want to watch this live, the podcast is available. You can get it anywhere the podcasts are available. But if you don't want to wait for the free one to come out eventually, become a patron. It's only $1. You get custom RSS feed. And that version of the podcast is out within hours of this being done.
Which means you can listen to it on your next drive in.
Yeah, you can. If you missed the show tonight, you can listen to us on your way to work tomorrow.
So you can yell at us in the car, which is,
nice to yell at us. If you choose to drive into head-on traffic, that is not our fault.
No, we don't recommend that.
Causation, it does not prove correlation, or is it the other way around?
I think it's the other way around.
Either way. It doesn't work either way. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody. We will catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.